Hey friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and we've got a package from a store where I don't buy quite enough stuff from there, mostly because I'm on a tight budget. Now this store does give me a discount, so disclaimer, I got a discount, not an awful big discount, but I got a discount from Integrity Knives for these knives. But the knives themselves, I've got nothing to do with those companies where these knives come from, so judge the knives for what it's worth. If you are in Canada, often those knives get confiscated, especially if they're flippers. You know, almost any kind of locking folder is at risk to some degree, but flippers really a lot. Button locks, you know, a number of other styles of knives that get confiscated like crazy. I just had a package arrive this morning of some blades. It took about 6 weeks. Was it 5 or 6 weeks to get to me? And that's without the package even being inspected internally. That's just for Canada Border Services Agency to process tax on it. Not very much tax because it came through the mail. $6 tax, well, $5.90 something tax, plus $10 to collect the tax. Isn't that stupid? The government gets to make the rules, right? So they get to tax you $10 in order to collect almost $6 tax. It's just wrong in my opinion, but that's a different subject. Integrity Knives, they're a fairly young knife company store. You can save 10% when you shop there with coupon code CCE. Of course, I always advise shopping around, but check them out if you're in Canada, if you want to get knives into Canada. I'm on a tight budget myself. I live on a disability pension. I know a lot of you guys are on tight budgets too, so I want to let you know of chances to save money whenever I can. So let's get into this package, and I'm going to show you a knife from a company that I've not purchased anything from before, and something from a company that I've had, you know, maybe 24 reviews about. So let's get at her. Haven't had many videos the last week or so because I haven't been feeling really well. You know, I've got too many health issues going on, just too many health issues, but this is going to be reviewed quite soon, finally. I think I posted it on an unboxing a while ago, a month and a half ago or so. This is the Harns Time. I like Harns knives. We've got 14C28N, and yeah, we've got some, I'm going to dye this sometime. So let's open this up. How do I want to cut this, or do I just want to rip it open? I'm not even going to cut it. So yeah, thank you for all your time. We use this bag. We use recycle safely. Yeah. Knafs. So that's the store. That's Integrity Knives. You know, that's the I and that's the K. Integrity Knives. And we've got a Knafs keychain. Little ruler in there, 3-inch ruler, about 7.5 centimeters. Okay, yeah. I'll show you that. Let's cut this open. Oh, don't rip the sticker. So that's another sticker. That's going on my walker. Yeah, sometimes I got to use, well, it's technically called a rollator, you know, a walker with wheels. Knafs. Yeah. That's fully embroidered. Kind of nice. So let's save that Knafs. I think he inspected it at the store for me because the color that this is in, they were just about out of, and so the owner wanted to make sure that it was in really good shape, because I think that was the last one that he had in that color. So here we go. This is the CJRB J1923. What's the name of it again? I am so bad with names. Well, it's on the screen, I'm sure. Let's open this up here. Aluminum backspacer, deep clip, right and left possibility for that deep clip. Of course, it's a flipper, and there's a hole. Are those T6? Yeah, it looks like those are T6 screws here. Not so happy about that. I wish those were T8s. Those are probably just holding the G10 on. There's probably other screws inside. When I do the review, I'll take it apart completely. So AR RPM 9 steel. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very high flat grind. Not quite a full flat grind, but very high flat grind. Functional equivalent of a full flat grind. A forward choil that's actually big enough. Oh, it's big enough. And my hands aren't even that huge. They're just barely in the extra large range, but just barely. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Feels quite comfortable. Lockup looks good. Yeah, alignment looks good. The weight and balance, yeah, I prefer balance to be a little closer to the pivot pin. Thankfully, I can't pass germs on through my sneezes, at least not through YouTube, because we don't have smell-o-vision yet. Yeah, some nice skeletonizing in there. It's not terribly comfortable. It's not actually terribly comfortable in hand. Yeah, I'll discuss that more when I review it, but it's mostly we've got crisp edges here. Well, not that so much there, but down here. Yeah. Those are too crisp right there. But we've got sort of like a starburst milling down here. I don't usually like coated blades, but this black and red, I just thought it looked really, really good. Yeah. All right. So we'll review that once we get around to it. But the Knafs, because you saw the Knafs on the thumbnail, probably. I'm sure you did. So let's take a look at what we got. Oh, that side's still sealed. The Knafs 00065 Lander Blue. Yes, the Lander. Designed in Utah, USA, made in China. So, actually, I will cut this sticker back here. So I had some people asking me about the Lander, and I like smaller knives, and certainly thumb stud knives. What we've got is G10, right and left pocket clip. I love that they got a spacer there. Thumb stud knife. D2 steel on this guy. Yeah, stonewash D2. Yeah, I don't prefer D2 on pocket knives, but it's okay. And this is a Willy design. Very nice. Love that drop point. You can just tell by looking at it, that is a very user-friendly kind of blade. Certainly that's under 3 inches. And yeah, nice. It's pretty thin behind the grind. It's fairly thick until we get pretty close to the tip. So this is not a weak tip at all. Fairly comfortable. Definitely a sub 3-inch folder. And yeah, the thumb stud's accessible in the left side as well. So that's kind of nice. I did grow up left-handed, so there you go. I developed into ambidextrous. But yeah, kind of nice. Lockup's nice. Alignment, pretty good. It's not perfect, but pretty good. Screws, T8 there, T6 on the G10, and yeah, some more T6. I really don't like T6, but I like that they are not the button screws. I really, really dislike button screws. But these flush T6 screws, you got to be careful with them. I'm going to pump another company. I'll be back. I just got to go upstairs and get it to show it to you. There's an American company that makes 2 products that I think every knife enthusiast should have. One is this Drive Grip anti-cam out fluid. You put your screwdriver in the screw and it strips out. That's just terrible. On knives, it's very hard to get replacement screws and stuff. And flush T6, they strip out every once in a while. I've got a whole video talking about this stuff. It's really, really good. I'll leave some links for it. I've got referral links for Amazon, but for the last couple of years, it's been way too expensive on Amazon. eBay's generally the place to get this, and this too. So I'll leave links for both those places. This is VC3 Vibratight ThreadMate. It's like a thread locker, but not. It's better than a thread locker. Its main drawback is it's a bit messy. You got to get used to working with this because it can be a big mess. But the great thing about this stuff is you put it in the threads of a screw and it's going to hold that screw from coming loose. But when you take the knife apart, clean the knife, lubricate it, put it back together, you don't need to reapply it. You can take the knife apart 6, 7, 8 times before you need to clean it off and start fresh. And the big thing about this is VibraTite. It's an anti-vibration. You know, that's what they started off with, this kind of stuff. They've got all kinds of grades of it, but VC3 is the best for knife enthusiasts, and it's easiest to find. And what's more vibration than this? That hits that pivot screw and tries to drive it out. This stuff just absorbs the vibration and keeps the screw from coming loose. I use this on all of my Tucson knives and a whole lot of my knives. And I don't use Loctite, especially the blue Loctite. Blue Loctite is never made for screws this size to start with. So many knife guys, you know, swear on blue Loctite. Contact Loctite, or look it up. For small screws like this, it's their purple that they recommend. Their purple Loctite, not their blue. The blue is way too strong, which is another reason why people strip out screws, because they use the wrong thread locker. This stuff holds without holding too tight, and it's reusable. This stuff will help you from stripping out your screws. So check out my video where I talk about this. And I'll be doing the reviews of these guys, hopefully before too terribly long. We'll see. A huge shout out to my monthly supporters. If you want to become one of my monthly supporters, the next 6 or 7 of my supporters, you're going to get a free bottle of this if you win. I do a draw once a month. One of my supporters wins a knife of their choice of what I reviewed in the previous month. They get to pick which it is. I custom sharpen it. I include an extra gift. You know, it's going to be this for the next 5 or 6 months, and probably something else as well. And it's stinking cheap to support the channel. $2 US or more. I'd really appreciate it if you would give more. But that's the bare minimum that you have to give. $2 a month. Not even 25 bucks a year to support the channel. And right now you got a better than 1 in 50 chance of winning every single month. You can only win once per calendar year, but hey, it's still very, very good odds. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.